or shall we proceed further? Meha, I'm hoping that everyone is clear with everything, so I'm proceeding it further.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Mhm. Are you able to see my whole screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So as you guys know that we have already covered the continuous integration and this. So after that, what we are going through, we are going to cover the Jenkins architecture, right? What sort of architecture we are having. So we are having Jenkins architecture. Within that, what we are having Jenkins, then plugins, and then we deployed over the DevOps too. Okay. Then we are having two things within the Jenkins architecture. We are having Jenkins master, then and we are having two nodes. First node name as slave one and second name as a slave two, right? Then we are having managing nodes on Jenkins. What? Just give me 1 second. Managing nodes on Jenkins, what does it mean? Like we have add a slave node to the Jenkins using JNLP connections, right? I'll show you how does it works and what sort of thing it is. Then means we are connecting the Jenkins master with the slave one communication part of thing, right? Then we are managing the users on the Jenkins. How we managing the users on the Jenkins? I'll show you. First of all, I'll tell you that what exactly it is, and then I'll show you the things. We can provide access to multiple users in Jenkins and can provide them to with the role based on the project based access. Means हम मेरे पास Jenkins पे manage user का एक टैग आता है जहां पर मैं अपने users को manage कर सकती हूँ. डिपेंड करता है कि मैं क्या उन्हें प्रोवाइड करना चाहती हूँ. मैं रोल बेस पे उनको प्रोवाइड करना चाहती हूँ या फिर प्रोजेक्ट बेस एक्सेस पे, राइट? सपोज करिए आपके पास एक IAM यूजर है, राइट? एंड सपोज इफ यू आर अ यूजर एंड you belong to one particular group, right? Suppose I'll make Jenkins workshop 1 group, yesterday one, and Jenkins workshop 2, today's group, right? So we are having multiple users. Some the user means attendees, whatsoever are the participants, right? So I'll giving the access accordingly. Suppose Meha is giving the drive access to everyone. So what she does, she just create a zip file and just within the two she add everyone of you, right? So she giving the providing the access onto the zip basis to the multiple users. In the same way, what we can do over here, we can provide access to the multiple users in the Jenkins and can provide them into the basis of the role based or the project based requirement access, right? So let's start by adding some user in the Jenkins. How we can do that? Hands on adding user Jenkins. Now obviously you can would not uh, each user to be administrator in Jenkins. Means when you are saying, suppose if you are having a bank account, okay, or do we very layman language, suppose if you are having, suppose right now I'm having the root access of my server, right? But I don't want that everyone should sustain with the root user. Because why I'm saying that with the administrator root user means, suppose if I'm making some changes, I don't want that everyone can see that changes or everyone should make that particular changes, because that is restricted to me only. That's why I don't want to make everyone as an admin user. I just want to make me or Meha as an admin user, because we are the person who is considering regarding the technical and the management part of the thing. So we want access regarding our management practice, as Meha see the changes what I does and I can see the changes what Meha does, right? So I just make two of them as a administrator, and rest of the person is only can view and listen to the meeting invite, right? So this kind of permission I can give to you all. Like hence you can also control what permission each user gets. So in this manner I'll provide Meha as a edit and the root user, but to you guys I can only give you the view access over the this particular meeting invite. The same thing I can do onto the Jenkins platform, where I can make Meha and me as an administrator, and rest of you we can make a user, a specific user required by the different projects or different scenarios, right? Then we can manage permission to a user using metrics based application. I'll show you how it does, and then I'll moving forward to the pipeline perspective. So suppose I'll go to the manage Jenkins, right? I'll go to the manage Jenkins. Then suppose if I want to notes and suppose if I work on to the notes and this. So we are having the built-in node, right? And its clock different is sync. Architecture is the Linux. We are using the AMD 64. Then free disk space is 4.29 GB and free swap space is 0 byte, and then free temp space is this one, right? So suppose if I want to go to what sort of configuration we are having. So within the manage Jenkins, we are having 4 to 5 things. We are having system. So within the system, what you can see, you are having this default path. Suppose if no one knows that what are the default path over the Jenkins, so we are having where live. My bad. Give me a minute. Just give me a single minute. We are having this path. In any server, you can just log in into this particular root access. You are able to open your Jenkins domain cd var live. अरे यार लिख ही देती हूँ, sorry, cd var live and then Jenkins path, right? I have quoted down over the chat so anyone can see. Then we are having the system message. Suppose if you want to use this default Jenkins store all of its data in this directory on the file system. What does it makes that this is the home directory path where live Jenkins. Then you can also prompt some message over here, hi, anything related to your particular Jenkins file, what sort of things you are carrying over there. Then you are having the Maven project configuration, like global manage ops, you can say, like where you specify the JVM option needed when launching Maven as the external process, right? Then you want to local Maven repository, as I told you, like what if you remember, what does the that particular Maven repository does. If you guys remember, I'll tell you that it just take the data from the .java file and convert to the .class file. And what are the two phases within that? When I'm converting from .java file to the your .class file, you are having two things like validation and the compilation, right? Testing and the compilation phase are there. And then what the class file do, it just put them the things over the store the to the main directory. Main directory is what? Your dot class file. And local Maven, what does it do? Like suppose if you are not having anything into your local repository, so what it does, it just fetch the code from download the things from the remote repository and store it back to the local repository. So in this manner, suppose if you want to use for the current use or the future use, you can use that thing. So that is the work it does, as I already told you guys. Then we are having executor, means how many members want to use this particular system configuration. So I'm saying I'm writing 3. You can just mention what sort of according to your project requirements. Then labels means you defining your parameters over there. Then usage means what sort of usage, use this node as much as possible. This is the default setting. And in this mode, Jenkins uses the this node freely, means you don't need to uh, like have sort of things that you cannot use that and other rest of things. Then quit period, what is the quit period over there? Then when I'm saying this option is a non-zero, newly triggered build of this project will be added to the queue, but Jenkins will wait for the specified period of the time, right? Like time stamp I am talking about, that what suppose 5 seconds, 10 seconds, according to that. Then we are having SCM checkout retry count. SCM means source code management part of thing. So we can stick project naming and other things. Then we are having the Jenkins location. So this is our Jenkins URL. Why I'm saying Jenkins URL? Because with this particular URL, we are able to open the particular your Jenkins dashboard, right? Then system admin email address we haven't passed. Suppose if I can pass arohi.sharma@gmail.com. So this is my system admin email address. Suppose if I want to pass some resource root URL, if I'm having, so I'll just put it down over here. Then we are having some global repositories. Global repositories means where we are just defining our disable, deferred, wipeout on this node, then environment variable. Suppose if you run like I'll show you. Suppose if you guys are able to see my screen, I'll show you what sort of environment I'm talking about. Uh, just give me a minute. Suppose if I want to go under the JVM, right? Under this, I just have some files and I want to make some kind of changes into this particular jdk.config file or something. So I'm talking about that particular environment variables, then tool locations, then pipeline speed. What are the pipeline speed and what is the duration of it? Durability period. Like, so use pipeline default max survivability means I just want to make it for the maximum survival part. So I'm just making the pipeline as a default. Then we are having the usage statistics. Usage statistics means it helps make Jenkins better by sending anonymous user statistics and crash reports to the Jenkins project. Then we are having the health metrics. You can use the default health metrics, child item with worst health of the primary branch of the repository. So I go for the health metrics. Suppose when health metrics, when suppose if any server went down, then it shows that it's restarted, right? When it's healthy, then it's sent out as a alert that it's okay. But when it's dropped down, so Jenkins server also went down. Then I'm saying global build out time. Then Gradle enterprise build session. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm coming back. Just give me 2 minutes. Yeah. So these are the things we are having carrying over here. And till then, any doubt?
Any queries, anyone? Aro is just connecting in a minute.
Yeah, hi. Hi all. Please, Neha, could you please enable the things for me for share access?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry for the inconvenience caused you guys, but there is some lack of internet. Anyone is carrying any doubt till here? We have completed the set of things. Like we have introduced the pipeline, we have introduced every other things, like what are the stages and anything. So maven form.xml file, then what is the maven repository, what are the maven build phases, then I have introduced you over the pipeline as well. So anyone is carrying any doubt, so let me know so we can dealt it with.
कि हम जब भी वक्त अच्छा चल रहा हो ना तो जेब बड़ी रख, सबको सब देते हैं। वक्त बुरा चल रहा हो ना तो दिल बड़ा रख, सबको सब बोलने दे, सबको सब करने दे। बुरे वक्त में ना तुम इंसान बुरे हो जाते हो, तुम गलत हो, तुम्हारा वक्त बुरा चल रहा हो तो दिल बड़ा रखो। लेट पीपल से गुड एफर्ट।
Yeah, Meha, now am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sorry. So I'm sharing my screen. So we are left with only one thing. So I'm just going for that. Arey, shit, 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 shit. Check. Everyone is able to see my screen, right? So now we are going for the pipelines. Okay, what are the pipelines? Is we are talking about that part, right? So understanding CI/CD pipeline in Jenkins, we are having three things. First of all, we are having like CI/CD pipelines, that is continuous integration, delivery, and the deployment pipelines are the way of running Jenkins job in a sequence, right? Sequence in a continuous manner, you can say, right? In a scheduled manner, like after 1 second goes on, then third, then fourth, then five, in a FIFO manner, you can say, first in, first out, in that way, then which resembles a pipeline view. Then I'm saying like we are having what are the we are having the concept of what are the CI/CD pipelining basically is. So we are having, for example, we are having GitHub. Then from the GitHub, we what we do, we'll just download the Git code to the repository, and then we build the website into the var file. Like as I told you that we are using the Maven, so Maven is having three concept like zar, var, and here archive, right? So we build the website and into the var file, right? And then we deployed the website. So we deployed the website onto the Slaves Tomcat. So if you remember, before 10 minutes, I have introduced the Jenkins architecture, where I have delivered that Jenkins architecture is having one master node and two your slave nodes, right? Then we can create a automated CI/CD pipelining in Jenkins. So we can initiate with a, so first of all, I'll show you what sort of like build stages and everything in the pipeline is. Just give me a minute. Just give me a single minute, please. I'll So when I'm talking about the Jenkins pipeline, we are having 4 stages. So I'll let you know that what sort of 4 stages we are having. Okay, just give me a single minute. I just like restart my system so everything is not in place. Just give me 2 minutes to set up the things. Then I'll. I just take a one global example in pipeline in Jenkins, and I just said you that you know pipeline over there. So just give me one single minute, and I'll just implementing it over there. Meha, are you able to see my screen, right? I'm just
No, no, it's not visible.
it's not visible. I hope now it's visible, right? So I go to the new item. I take a pipeline. I'll just give my pipeline. Okay. Then I go to the my pipeline where I just do the configuration setup part of thing. I just say my first Maven. I can say my first CI/CD pipeline. Okay, and I just wrote one script over here where I defining. Suppose if you want to discover the pipeline, how you do that? First of all, you go to the dashboard. Okay, and here you choose like your new item. Then I'll show you from here. Okay, and then I'll tell you. Suppose if you want to go, first of all, suppose you want to select the freestyle jobs, you can do that. Suppose if you want to go for the Maven project, you can select here. Suppose if you want to pipeline is, what does it mean? Pipeline, it orchestrates long running activity that can span multiple build agents, like that supports suitable for building pipeline or the workflows, if I can say, and in a freestyle job type. So when I'm talking about the pipeline, basically, I just select that pipeline and then I say, okay. So that what exactly I have created over here, I just took the new item, then I give that name, and then in the description, I'm saying that it's my first CI/CD pipelining. Then I just build that thing where I just mention pipeline script within the definition, where I'm mentioning pipeline agent is any. Then we are having multiple stages. So I just say that if the stage is built, then it goes to the next step, test, and then deploy, right? So I'll just go and apply. Then I trigger that build, right, by using the build now. Okay, so I just check why it's failing, or suppose if I want to check the status of it or my pipeline. So there are multiple status view of it, right? Give me a minute. No. Okay. No, this is It's a console output where we can say that it is started by me, then it workflow started number no steps, like I if I say the uh, failure, so I just need to debug it, right? At which stage it fails. So I see there are three errors, and these are the errors, like error dot collector fail errors. Then there's some issue with the 309. Then I'm saying that it's having some code issue. Then Jenkins script security dot sandbox is not working perfectly. So I can do debugging like this, right? Suppose if I want to go for the pipeline steps, so I can do it over here. Suppose if I want to make some changes, okay, so I can check it for this. Suppose if I want to go for the status, like who run this particular build, so I am the user and I just took 1 minute 30-second echo. I just started this particular build, so anyone can check this out. Suppose if I want to replay this build, again I want to run this particular build, so I just click onto the rebuild, and then I'll just rebuild this thing. It says that a problem occurred while processing the request. So it might be some network issue, or my I want to check that the Jenkins server I'm working about, it's there or not. So I see why it's not working perfectly fine, because I'm not logged into my server. If my server is not logged in, then I'm not able to run anything over here. So that's why it's failing the request error, right? So first of all, I just need to access that particular server. Then I need to go and check over here that what sort of issue it is. The page that you are looking for use information that we entered, returning that page might cause some action. So I just want to continue over here. So I just need to check that what is the issue of my build part is. It's my pipeline, right? Suppose if you want to rename that particular build, you can do that. Suppose if you want to edit some kind of description, disable project, so you can do in that way. But when I come into the basic, that what are the stages in the Jenkins pipeline, we are having checkout, build, test, static code analysis, these kind of things we are carrying. So I'll show you over there as well. So I'll just take like you see, we are having five stages. I'll four stages. We are having build, test, deploy stage over here. As I show you over there. So like right now, you guys want to know that what basically this particular thing means, right? So when I'm talking about the stages in the Jenkins pipeline, we are having set pipeline is a set of stages where we define the steps required to build, test, deploy, and application, right? So we are like pipeline consists of multiple stages basically, where we are having the. Are you able to see my screen? Where I just mentioning, I have made some notes over there, so I can deliver it out over there. So we are having some stages in the Jenkins pipeline where we are having five things basically: checkout, build, test, static code analysis, code coverage, artifact packaging, deployment, right? These are the internal things what we do over there. Then when I'm talking about the checkout part, checkout means where the check out the source code from the version control system. If what version control system I'm using the Git or the SVN. It's all up to me that what I want to use, such as Git into the workspace where the build will take place. Then we are talking about the build part. Build means in this stage we compile the code, we just resolve our dependencies, we just whatever the sort of artifacts we need, we'll just generate that artifacts. Then we prepare the application for further testing and the deployment procedure. Then it comes next our test. The basically test stage run various type of tests on the built application, where it includes your unit test, integration test, where if you guys have operating system in your like BTech, then you see waterfall model, regression testing. Then these kind of test cases we are having, like unit testing, integration testing, other type of tests to verify the correctness and quality of the code. That's why we are just using for the test case. Then static code analysis. What does it mean, the static code analysis? Where we perform the static code analysis on the code base to identify, where we just check that, suppose if I want to check it for bug scan suit or something like quality verification, where we just want to check, identify the potential issues such as coding standard violation or security vulnerability. Suppose when I'm talking about the security vulnerabilities, I want to check the kernel, I just want to check for the, looking for the other dependencies at the business level or the OS level, these kind of things. And code smells took like, we just use the sonar cube over here, where we just use for this particular state, static code analysis perspective. Then we are having the code coverage. What is the code coverage means? Where we just measure the code coverage of the test, indicating how much of the code is exercised by the test, 80%, 20%, 40%. And it also helps to ensure that tests are comprehensive and all the parts of the code are adequately tested. Adequately tested means, when I am checking onto that basis, so I should know that how much percentage of the code is tested and how much is left, and how what sort of scenario we need to pass it on more, right? Then we are having the artifact packaging. Artifact packaging means where we just make it as a zip, var or jar file in a form of the artifacts. Then we, once the build and the testing stages are complete, this stage packages the application and its dependencies into the deployable artifacts like your jar file, var file, and Docker images, right? And these artifacts we can use for the deployment perspective. So till now, anyone is having any doubt? Because this is it for our session. So we are left with 5 to 6 minutes more. So let us know that if you are having any issue till here, any pipeline basic, what sort of things, because pipeline we cannot integrate whole solely from scratch. We can give you the overview that how it's work when you guys enroll the course. Then we, uh, tell you from the scratch that how we start from the cloud, then how we, integrate it with the DevOps tool, then we, how we deliver it to the customers and how it works, how real scenarios, when we deployed it over the real project, how it works, and what, then you guys know that what is multi branch pipelining, then declarative, then scripted pipelining, these kind of things, then you guys know more about into it, right? Right now we are just giving you the brief that how we set up the things over the AWS, then how the Maven works, what does the Maven do, what are the Maven build life cycle, then what is the Jenkins architecture, how the Jenkins pipelining, what sort of Jenkins, under the Jenkins pipelining, what are the basic stages and the things, and how does it work. Then we also give you the brief about that, suppose if you have this kind of pipeline, suppose if you want to check out, test, integrate, and other things, so how you did that. Suppose if you want to create any pipeline, how you created, if you want to go for the Maven project integration, or suppose if you remember guys, yesterday itself I tell you that how we install the plugins, right? Available plugins through, we can do that. Suppose yesterday I have shown you about the GitHub integration, Maven integration. So these kind of sort of things we delivered till now. So anyone is carrying any doubt till here, let us know. Hello.
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah, hello.
Rajesh, your voice is very low. Can you please hit the mic? You're not audible. Or either write it on chat.
I'm not able to hear you, Rajesh. Could you please write it over the chat if you have any doubt so we can take in it? May I clear? Okay. He's saying he is clear with the things.
Okay. Okay. If no one has any doubts, then okay. Thank you everyone for attending this workshop. You will get a call from our career advisor who will answer all your queries like fee structure and what is the program and all those things. Thanks everyone. Thank you, Aravi. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining the session. Mhm.